Film fans of YouTube, hello and welcome back to the channel. I am Josh, the Movie Apprentice, and today I am looking at Immaculate, directed by Michael Mohan, starring Sydney Sweeney, Alvaro Morte. This follows Sister Cecilia, who, after moving to a coven in the Italian countryside, inexplicably gets pregnant despite never having been with another man, leading to a lot of suspicion amongst the coven, as well as those that believe this to be a miracle and the potential rebirth of Christ. Before I get into my review, if you like what you're seeing on the channel, click the like button and subscribe for more video reviews that is coming all the time. But without further ado, let's look into this. So over the last few years, I will say that I've been getting a little bit of fatigue when it comes to religious horror movies because they all seem to follow the same sort of pattern. It always seems to resolve in some sort of possession or demon. That's how it tends to go. Well, Immaculate said, we're going to take all the stereotypes of a religious horror movie and flip them on their goddamn head because Immaculate was such a pleasant surprise. This is a film that is wrapped up in a nice, tidy hour and a half, is unapologetically brutal, and a hugely surprising movie. And I'm very surprised it's not been getting huge praise across the board. Let's start off with Sydney Sweeney's performance, first of all, because she has become the new hot commodity in Hollywood. I love the transition, at least from my perspective, where she's gone from a movie where she's in a will they won't they relationship with another hot guy and has a very erotic PG-13 shower scene. Then she went into being the sheltered kid in Madam Web, and now she's gone full circle, has become a nun dedicated to protecting her chast and being loyal to the church and God himself. It's been a weird free film arc for Sydney Sweeney as the actor, but as Sister Cecilia, she is really good in this and really expresses herself in a way that we haven't seen from her yet. Considering this is a horror movie, she has given her all to this in terms of the performance. There's a particular picturesque scene where she's wearing a fancy Mary outfit, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be, and you can tell a lot in her facial expressions what Cecilia is going through in that moment. And seeing her go through the film, first being very happy to be part of this coven, to being very nervous and uncomfortable with how the rest of the nuns in this coven see her, to, well, not even going to spoil it, but in the third act, she comes full circle and there is a pure savagery within her in this. And I'm always going to love a movie that gives me some fantastic cinematography. Some of the camera work in this is really, really good, as is the effects in this. When people have said this film has a bloody third act, they very much mean it. It is without a doubt one of the most gruesome final sequences where I genuinely had to be like, wow, they've actually gone and done this. This very much earns its 18 rating here in the UK. I have to just show up on screen now the cinematographer and the special effects artists in this movie because they all did a fantastic job and really helped elevate this movie to another level. Because it could have just been another edgy religious film that went against the grain but didn't really have much substance to it. But I love the slow evolution, and praise to the film for just basically putting me in my place, because the whole way through I was predicting what was going to happen. I was so sure of myself what the reveals were going to be that would lead to a bloody third act that I had heard so much about, and I was completely wrong. I did not expect the motivation, I did not expect the reason for the pregnancy. I did not expect it to go as hard as it did. And the fact that the film wraps itself up in a nice, tidy hour and a half, there is no padding in this movie whatsoever. It sets things up, it elevates them, and it throws the kitchen sink at you all in a tidy, short span of time. And it really shows that whilst I do love myself a good 2 hour, 3 hour movie, sometimes it is nice to cut all the fat and just deliver us a play of just non-stop quality with no added extras that we don't really care about. One of my few flaws with the movie, I would say, is once we do get the full context of what is going on, some of the creepy stereotypical bits that happen in the first half of the movie cease to make sense in the full context of the movie. And I will say that despite her predicament being a woman that is going through a pregnancy during the course of this film. There is a particular sequence that does have one trope where they hear someone is in trouble, and rather than doing the fight or flight where you would run to help or run as fast as you can, they take a leisurely stroll to get to the source of the action. And for the sake of showing us some messed up stuff, they don't do anything to intervene or run from the situation. That is a trope that really bugs me in any movie. For those of you that are big in scientific accuracy as well, you would know that there is no way, whilst badass, Sister Celia could have done half of what she does in that final act, considering her particular predicament. But the ending is one that sticks with you. There was a moment it could end, but it continues for a few minutes more, not too many, just a couple more minutes, and it makes sure to leave you with a heavy footnote that is going to stick with you for some time. It seems a lot of people have come out of this film saying they like Sydney Sweeney in it and didn't like the film as a whole. And I honestly have some big concerns with that, because this film took the religious horror and took all the tropes and even gave us many red herrings to show that it was going to be another one of these cliche religious horror movies. But Immaculate just takes everything, chucks it out the window, and creates something fresh and new that feels highly refreshing, especially in this religious horror subgenre when it comes to nuns and priests and the like. Because usually we are used to demons and exorcisms and maybe some messed up stuff going on within the church itself in terms of aggression towards nuns. But instead, this movie, whilst it still has elements of that, it does it in such a fresh way that I feel like I'd saw new life get breathed into this particular subgenre of horror. Sweeney is obviously fantastic in this role, and it's definitely worth checking out. Though if you are squeamish when it comes to blood and gore, maybe give this a miss, because this film does not hold back when it comes to its violent finale. Before I get into my grade, if you like what you see on the channel so far, click the like button and subscribe for more video reviews that's coming all the time. But without further ado, let's grade this. So Immaculate, Sydney Sweeney is immaculate in this, for lack of a better term. The side characters do a very good job. The slow reveal of everything is really well done and not at all surprising, and is the seeds for it are planted very early on. The bloody finale will stick with you. I can't get over how well done the cinematography in this is, and the special effects crew. Seriously, not enough respect is put on the names of those that are working behind the scenes. All the focus always seems to go on the actors, or the score, or the director, or sometimes the cinematographer. So big shout out to the effects artists on this movie. You did a stellar job and were a big part of why it had such an impact. Even the sound people as well, when it came to the squelchy, gory sounds. Fantastic Foley work indeed. I'm going to have to say that Immaculate for me is a great cup of tea. So Immaculate, have you seen it? Let me know what you thought down in the comments below. Let me know what your favorite religious horror movie is. We're going to say not counting The Exorcist, because I feel that's too much of a cop-out or an easy answer. Coming up on the channel, a lot of movies coming out over the weekend. I won't be able to get any more reviews out until after the weekend, but those will likely be Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire, as well as Monkey Man. And I may get a review of Kung Fu Panda 4 out. It depends on how much time I have to get the reviews out. But until next time, everybody, my name is Josh. I have been your Movie Apprentice, and I'll see you all in the next video.